Kenya's ICT sector has been growing rapidly for the last 7 years. Experts say the installation of fiber optic cables and a relatively young tech-savvy population are behind the boom.
When you look around Africa and you look at the demographics of the population, you find that we have, probably around the world, we have the most people in the sort of 15 to 24 age group who are, by their very nature, more tech savvy, more into Facebook, Twitter, etc. So with falling prices, better internet speeds, we're finding that the use of technology and the use of media and telcos is rapidly increasing.
This has made Kenya an attractive investment destination for multinational companies. Headquarters are springing up across the Nairobi landscape as these companies try to capitalize on the skilled workers available in Kenya and establish partnerships with the government.
Kenya has made a lot of investment in its ICT policy. So it has a clear ICT policy articulated in its Vision 2030 initiative. So it's easy to begin to discuss with a company, a government that has laid out its ICT policy. But there are also logistical things, right? So the aviation industry here in Kenya is highly developed, right? So for a multinational company, you think about the logistics of moving your people in and out. So for these and several other reasons, Kenya just seems like an obvious place to land.
Mobile phone use is also driving ICT growth in Kenya. There are over 30 million mobile subscriptions and the population of the country is slightly over 40 million. Mobile penetration rate stands above 75%. This has contributed to the growth of mobile money products like M-Pesa.
To me, the big thing that M-Pesa has done is it has effectively brought a lot of people who were unbanked into the banking world. Not completely into the banking world, but certainly using their mobiles for that purpose. And with this, we're seeing, almost on a monthly to weekly basis, we're seeing new types of products that are coming out. The banks are linking up with the telco operators to launch insurance, loans, you pay your airfares, everything is happening on that platform.
Entrepreneurs in the ICT space have also taken advantage of the digital revolution to create applications that ease the process of business transactions.
M-Pay is a solution that basically makes payments easy for businesses. And what we do and what is unique about us is we automate not just mobile payments, but cash payments and card payments. And so we get into that point where a business needs to make sense out of what it's doing in terms of sales and payments. So M-Pay has really gone to digitize a business, gone to create that automation that is needed.
It has not been all rosy in the ICT sector. There are challenges ranging from infrastructure to accessing finance, which have put pressure on achieving further growth.
It's not just a Kenya problem. It is an African problem, right? So if you look at what is required for Africa just to catch up with the rest of the world from an infrastructural perspective, over 10 years, it's 1 trillion. But what are we spending? We're spending about half of that, right? So the challenge, therefore, is what are we going to do differently?
We need to get high-speed connectivity. This is what we call the last-mile solution. We haven't been able to do that, even though we have spread out fiber optic throughout the country. We need what is called the last mile, that which will take broadband from where the fiber is to where the people are, just like the mobile telephony. What you are going to see are the new technologies which would be used for voice and the data. This is what we ordinarily call 4G.
Looking for angel investors is so hard, and so that's why the government comes into this competition, that competition. But there are a lot of Kenyans who are so rigid towards any investment, but IT is the only thing that can actually create exponential return on investment.
Experts are hopeful about the future, with key government initiatives such as the Konza Technopolis and strong collaborations with the private sector. ICT in Kenya is expected to continue to soar.
I think we have a vision. What we lack is the implementation, the follow-through. So, you know, if you look at the one laptop per child or Konza, these are great initiatives, right? It's our ability to implement. It might take a while, but we'll finally get it. So just to reiterate, I think government here in Kenya has a great vision.
The fibre optic project, which is pretty much a private sector, public sector partnership, has been very successful. So when you tie that in with these youngsters that are coming out of our universities, I see in the future that we can have a big business process outsourcing zone in this country, which will compete with the likes of India and China and the Philippines and Vietnam. And I think the big advantage we have is that we have a very educated class of people coming out of universities that are capable of doing this stuff.